Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Nobody Cares because you're not famous. So it's I have a special guest today, which is my good friend Megan, Megan Rose. You can inappropriately follow her on social media if you'd like to. She is a mediocre friend of mine. She's a really good person. She's a good friend of my sister, and I met her last year at a bachelorette party where I was babysitting 9 drunk women. Um, It was not fun at all, but here we are, and here's Megan. Hi, Megan.
Hi. What do you mean it was not fun at all?
I mean, taking care of one drunk girl is bad already, but taking care of 9 is bad. And they're not like 20-year-old drunk, like they're like 30-year-old drunk, so they're strong. Like an 18-year-old, a drunk 18-year-old is like, you can push her around, she's a little sloppy, but a drunk woman is like, get the fuck away from me.
Yeah. We've got like a dozen years of burdens that like make us extra heavy on the street.
Yeah, yeah. They got that by 30s, I think, especially since most of them were Latina, they got that Latina mom strength, like that flip tortillas like with their bare hands strength. So it was yeah, it was like let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm just fucking gonna go get one more drink. That guy's talking to me, he's cute. I'm like, dude, stop it. Yeah, in New Orleans no less, which is a little bit dangerous, right?
For the record, nothing was cute in the French Quarter.
That's the no, that wasn't the main street that we went to, right? That
Yes,
was the main street?
yeah.
Yeah.
The one that
I
smelled like piss and vomit. And
oh yeah, yeah. Immediately, like, your memory is tied to smell. Like I smell piss and I think of New Orleans.
we
Which
love it though.
right? I want, after thinking about it, like I wonder if it smelled worse before Katrina and it just got kind of like
Washed it all
just
away.
washed it all away. Think about it. Think about it. It got rid of like 60 years of like urine in like one swoop, right? Did, 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 did you ever see that movie? What is it called? It's like 10 or The Day After Tomorrow. There we go. The one where like the Earth or like New York freezes over and stuff
No.
or something like that. It was like I think it was Jake Gyllenhaal. Was it Jake Gyllenhaal? I don't think so. Some other copy paste white guy. But it just like the Earth does all these things to like clean itself. Basically, is like the whole thing about it.
It's like a vagina.
Yeah, basically.
Self cleaning.
Katrina was Earth's period.
That's a hard sell, but we'll let it slide.
Very good.
Hmm.
Were you
Yeah.
asking me about menthol cigarettes?
No, it was a Dave Chappelle skit where he has like this game show where he says, you know, the game show is called I Know Black People,
Oh,
and he has like an African American studies professor, which is a white guy, like a New York City cop who's a woman, like a white woman, a Korean grocery store owner,
oh.
then an actual black barber, and then one of the questions is, why do black people like menthol cigarettes? And the cop is like, um, I don't know. And Dave Chappelle's like, that's correct. And then everybody goes down the line, just saying like, I have no idea. That's correct. Yeah, that's it. It's a stupid skit, but it's so funny. Yeah.
Do you
Well,
remember
back
in the
to Katrina's period. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. Go. You were like talking about like a booty or something.
no, do you remember like in the 2000s when Camel came out with the cigarettes that were like regular cigarettes or you could crush them and they would become a menthol cigarette?
Yes.
Why?
Cool as fuck.
I think they were called Camel Crush and it was like all the rage.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I I smoked a little bit when I was younger, and it was I I used to smoke Marlboro Lights, but I started buying those for a little bit when they came out because there was always the friends who were potheads that only smoked menthol. So they like I'd give them one and they'd go and they're like, "Ooh." And now everybody's like sharing these gay cigarettes just to like use it as oral fixation because you can't get your past trauma
Yeah, because
as
their
a
mothers
child.
like didn't love them enough.
Yeah. It's like all of this because they never gave you apples.
I don't think it's apples. I think it's like actually titties, but
Breastfeeding. Yeah, that's true.
yeah, we can go with apples.
That's true. My and I mean he probably find this funny, but my little brother, my middle brother who's now 38 or something, actually yeah, like last month 38. And he used to have I mean he won't admit it, but he used to have anal fixation. So it sounds weird, but he would it's not that he liked to, you know, to put anything in his butt or anything, at least that I know of, you know, but
You don't follow him on OnlyFans.
no, no, I don't. That is one subscription I don't have. You know, that is true. That's like one business because every time somebody has a business, they always tell their friends and family to follow them. OnlyFans is like the only one that nobody does. You know, it's like, hey, follow my OnlyFans. Come
Well,
on,
hopefully.
come on, cousin.
Then you have him as a guest, and then your shit like really pops off.
Exactly,
My
exactly.
hairdresser once told me that like family dynamic pornography is like the most searched for porn.
Very Freudian. Yeah, yeah, 100%. Or what's that other one? Oedipus? Oedipus?
The Oedipus complex,
The Oedipus complex.
where
Yeah.
you want to kill your father and fuck your mother.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's, you know, more power to you.
Um,
That's really weird.
Back
Yeah.
to your brother's anus.
Yeah. Let's get away from parental sex and incest to my to my brother's anus. So so it all started, and at least I think it all started. But we used to have a dog, a female dog, and one day as a little kid, he poked his finger in my dog's butt. And I didn't catch him. My mom caught him, gave him this big old fuss about it, and he was really afraid, and he never did it again that we know of. But then after that, for the duration of of his life, as I've known him, he always likes holding his poop until like the very last minute. Like this man has shit himself numerous times because there was at times where we were little kids where he'd say, "Oh, I kind of have to go to the bathroom," and we're like, "Okay, go," and he'd be like, no, no, I'm gonna hold it." And
Oh,
I don't
not like
know,
as an adult.
maybe I don't know.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
Yeah, we'll circle back tomorrow's episode. I actually asked my brother about his anus and prostate health, and he would just always
Oh,
hold it. That's it. That's all it was. He would just always hold it, and then I never forget. And this is way too TMI, but one time he was like holding it up until the last minute. He opens a bathroom door, and he's like, "Junior, Junior, look, look!" And he poops, and he's standing up on top of the toilet, and he poops, and it doesn't like poop down. It goes like, yeah, like an arch. And I just, it's ingrained in my head. It's like 30 plus years later, and I'm still thinking about that moment and like why he would want to do that. You know,
how old was he?
I don't know. He had to be like 9 or 10 or something like that, somewhere around there. Pretty sure because I mean, I stopped showing my butt to people when I learned that I had hair on my ass, and then like I just stopped that. So typically for Latinos, that's like about 11.
I have a theory that like if you've ever lived with a man or you like go over to a man's dwelling, the toilet is always like it's like splatter painted with poo. And I have a
Yeah.
theory that it's the butt hair theory that there's so much hair on a man's ass that when the shit comes out, it just like sprays like a screen on the faucet, you know? So it
like a cabbage shredder. It's just, um, I mean, I no. I think it's just because for men IBS or GI issues aren't real. You just got the shits. It's true. I mean, it's like
No, I was like not gonna put my dad on blast, but
do it.
my dad had colon cancer,
Ooh.
and like they found it really early stages, and he's fine. But he was like, yeah, he's like, I just thought I just thought I had diarrhea for 7 years, like. And the second that he had like the polyp removed, he like shit normal for the first
Oh my
time in
God.
7 years. And he was like, yeah, I just thought that's like how I
This
poop
is
now.
normal? Jeez. If that's the case, I'm pretty sure I've had colon cancer since I was like 3.
You
It's
should
just
go.
it's yeah.
Have you
Yeah.
ever shit yourself as an adult?
Yeah. Once. Yeah. Once. Twice. Twice. One time I was by myself. So one time I was completely by myself, and then I was just like I was getting ready to shower, and I'm just running around in my apartment. I'm like getting something, and I just coincidentally I was just like I was like I got to fart. And I'm like, okay. Then I keep running around, and I'm like, I see like a little brown drop on the floor, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I just look, and I'm like, it's shit. Did I step on shit? Oh my God! I shit on myself. That's the first time, but that time I was alone. Another time, and this is probably
Oh
the most
no.
embarrassing time. I was taking some classes at a junior college, and I don't know if you've read the back of a can of Monster.
Uh, I don't know it by heart.
Good, I do. So on the back it says, "Warning: consuming too many cans can cause anal leakage."
Oh my
Now I don't know if they still have it on there, but they did back then. And I was just studying, taking a monster can after monster after monster, and I'm in this study group with a bunch of friends. I'm like, I'm gonna go pee. I go pee. Same thing. I'm just peeing like normal. Decide to let out a fart, which is, it's just like the most risky thing you can do aside from like raw dogging a stranger. Like it's pretty risky. And it just like, yeah, just farted, and if my leg felt warm, and I was like, oh shit. But I still
God.
had to go to that final later on that day. So I was leaving and got out of the bathroom, immediately went to my car, and my friends were like, "Hey, where are you going?" And I was like, "Oh, I forgot something in my car. I'll be right back." I'm not joking. Luckily, I had an extra pair of pants, which was out of nowhere, and then I played off some excuse saying I ripped my pants in my car, and luckily I had another pair, and I smell like Febreze right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You
Oh yeah, definitely. There was a time in my life where I like
just like super confident. Yeah, you kidding? I shit myself at Jazzercise last week.
no, oh my God. That's like my biggest fear though. So as you know, I just got
Side info. Megan is a Jazzercise instructor.
yeah, I just got certified, but I've been doing it for like 8 years. I love it, and I know it sounds stupid, but I don't care. It's great.
Why? It's
Um,
fucking dope.
it's pretty dope.
Yeah,
Um,
why are you downplaying it? It's Jazzercise. It's like I was telling you, like my mom genuinely loves Zumba and like silver sneakers and stuff that she goes to classes to.
yeah,
It's badass. Why
it's.
you downplay it?
I'm not downplaying it. I think it's the shit.
I'm really super embarrassed about talking about it. I saw a video of you and shit, just like telling these old bitches like, move, bitch. These
That's pretty
women are
much
like in their 80s and 90s, like with hip replacements, and Megan's like, let's go, feel that heartbeat.
it's true. I do it in a nice way though, but also like I always tell people like you don't have to be a good dancer or even really like have rhythm to do jazzercise. To me, it's the spatial awareness. Like you need to know
Bump in, and
like
they're like a pins, right?
it's like if you're not going to do it right, just like stay in your own tiny bubble. Like don't come into my space. But no, so when I was doing my audition for jazzercise, it's like it's like an 8-week process. You go through training and there's all these different steps and you record videos and then you have like your big audition that you have to record. And I wore like a unitard, like a one-piece workout outfit.
Jane Fonda, let's go.
And it's like your adrenaline kicks in, and I wasn't nervous that I wouldn't pass, but I had some nerves and some adrenaline, and I was like, really wanted to nail it. I cared about it a lot, and I'd put all this effort in. And so you have to record 2 songs all the way through as if you're teaching the class, which is really
back to back.
Yeah, which is really awkward when you're just standing on a basketball court in a community center with a camera and like one person just standing there watching you be like, all right, skip up for 4, and like 35 seconds into the first song, I was like, I am going to shit myself. And I was like, I have to get this on the first take because I don't know that I'll make it to a second one. And I just sort of like blacked out for 9 minutes. And then you can see at the end of the video, I like, you wear a belt for like the headset pack. And I like immediately ripped the belt off. I was like ready to run to I really thought that I might shit myself, but I was fine.
You forget to take it off and it records.
But I didn't shit myself that time. But no, there was a time in my 20s. There was like a couple of years in my 20s where I had like pretty bad IBS. And I would like drive around with extra pairs of pants in my car. Because
and at no point did you think you have colon cancer too?
Well, no. So I went to the doctor, and I like did all the tests and they were like, yeah, you're just really stressed out. So
used to drive around with a pack of Depends.
Not Depends.
I mean, that's what it is, right? Extra chunk. I mean, you could have just had a diaper and it would have been fine. You've just been making strange faces in public. You're like on a date. Ha ha ha.
I really only did it twice. But it was like, it doesn't haunt me. Like, I own it. And, your stomach is your, like, that's your stress organ, right? So anytime you're in, like, a stressful situation.
You have to shit yourself anytime you're in a stressful situation?
Your stomach doesn't hurt when you get stressed out?
No, my cortisol level goes up. Why? I don't want to shit myself.
Oh, well.
You should see a doctor.
No, but anyway, so this is, just Google it. This is all true. But I was, when I was working in San Diego, I had this line cook and we went out for drinks after service one night, and we're sitting in my favorite bar in San Diego, and it's this little dive bar.
Short Mexican, right? So like, you look very pretty today. And you're like, whoop, whoop, whoop.
No, it was my like white saute cook, really, really resented me because I came in as a sous chef and he thought that job should be his. And so my thing is like, you got to win them over early if you're going to get them to do anything you want. So it was like pretty early on when I had gotten in this restaurant. Anyway, so we went out for drinks, and for some reason we were talking about like shitting our pants, and he was like, no, I've never, and he was really repulsed by it. He was like, I would never do that, blah, blah, blah. And the bartender just pops up from behind the bar and he goes, there's only 2 types of people in this world, kid. Those who have shit those who have shit their pants, and those who have yet to. And he's right. Jeremiah's right.
Okay. We were having some technical difficulties for whatever reason. The camera did not like talking about shit. But here we are. So you went out with this line cook. You shit yourself.
No.
Continue. Go ahead.
No, we were talking about, for whatever reason, I was like, we were talking about like shitting your pants as an adult, which is a conversation that I have a lot, apparently.
On a first date, no less. Go ahead.
No, we were not on a date.
You were not on a date.
This was like my employee,
Okay.
but I was not like no.
And you thought
We
that
just
was
went
appropriate as a supervisor.
to go out for a beer after work.
And talk about shit.
Yeah, I was getting
Megan
to know
Rose, ladies and gentlemen, Megan Rose.
I was getting to know the team. But anyway, we were like, you got to swap stories to get to know each other, and
What are your
he
bowel
was like,
movements like?
but he was like very repulsed at the idea that like someone would shit themselves, and as someone that's been in that scenario, I was like a little offended, and I
Like stood up for the people that shit themselves. They're like, how fucking dare you? Think you're better than me?
IBS is real, man. Yeah, he did think that he was better than me, and that was the problem. It was like, anyway, so we're having this conversation, and the bartender pops up and he says, there's only two types of people in this world, kid: those who have shit themselves and those who have yet to. And I just like looked at him and I was like, it's coming for you, motherfucker. And
Yeah.
I know the day that he shits himself, he's going to think of me in that bar, and I'm going to revel in it. Not the shit, but
your ears are gonna start burning. You're gonna be like, yes,
yeah,
thank you,
finally
thank
come
you.
for him.
Yeah. I mean, it's there was something similar that I see. So I I always joke and say uh, uh kids drink alcohol, adults do drugs. and and it was and then because I remember I forgot how old I was, but somebody had gone up or somebody had told a friend of mine, and she was really offended. She was really offended that somebody would tell her this. But uh some guy had told her, he just went up to her and he's like, hey, what's up? How are you? And she's like, oh yeah, I'm good. I haven't seen you in a while. And he asked her, he was like, hey, do you do coke yet? And she was like, what? No, I'm never gonna do that. And he goes, oh, I mean, sure. It just leaves. And she told me, and I just remember thinking, it's stuck with me for years. I'm just thinking like that's do you do coke yet? It's like, oh, okay, oh, sure. And being like all like super like when you're 16 or 17, I'm never gonna do anything trying to be all virgin, and it just never happens. Life hits you, you shit yourself, things like that. You just need ways to cope. Yeah.
There was a guy. What I was a line cook in a different restaurant, and I was working the pizza station. At the end of the pizza station, there was a POS terminal, and it was like all on one counter, and we would like tape off the line where like the servers weren't allowed to cross, which very fucking effective. But there was this guy that was a waiter, and the most coked out motherfucker I've ever seen in my entire life. Just you would walk out back to like drop dishes in like the bus tub, and he'd just be like doing a little key bump and then like getting back out on the floor. And one night we're getting slammed, I'm making pizzas, I'm in the weeds, he comes over to like do what servers do and just like tap the thing annoyingly, and he's like, oh no. And I was like, what? And he's like, oh, I think I'm gonna shit myself. And I was like, could you please not? And he's like, I don't know if I can stop it. And I was like, I swear to God, if you shit yourself on my pizza station right now, like, well, what are you gonna do? Oh God, I did it.
Oh God, I did it. I did it.
And he just looked at me and he went, there's a lot of baby laxatives and coke these days. Just like walked off. And I was like, great.
I mean, probably. I mean, yeah. Have you ever allegedly tried cocaine?
I haven't actually.
Oh. If I ever would have had tried cocaine or any drug in general, there are a lot out there. But from what I've heard from people, not myself, that have personally experienced from other people, probably that guy, that when cocaine has similar effects to like drinking like a lot of coffee, like caffeine. It's kind of diuretic.
Yeah.
So it does. Could be the baby laxatives. It could be that he's all coked out. I mean, you know, I what I went to a comedy club once and I saw this and I heard this comedian and I was there with my friend who did cocaine and had told me all the effects about it.
Uh-huh.
And both him and I were there on dates. We were like double dating to this comedy club, and at this comedy club, this girl's presenting, and she says this joke that she just starts talking about it. The comedy club is dead quiet, and she goes, "Man, I used to do." She goes, "Yeah." She was like, "I love cocaine." She goes, "But I had to stop it." She was like, "I had to stop it." She goes, "I used to do so much coke, just thinking about it makes me want to take a shit."
Mhm.
And everybody who did cocaine busted out laughing. Everybody who has ever done cocaine was losing their fucking mind. I was laughing because my friend had told me about it, what it
Yeah.
was like and everything else, and he was completely dying. And then a bunch of other random pockets of people were laughing, and then the other group of people were, I don't get it. Why is that funny? Am I missing something? And it was just like,
Yeah.
have you
A
done
drug habit.
cocaine yet? Basically, I was like, oh, so it's a universal inside joke.
Yeah.
You can say that to anybody who has done cocaine and they will laugh their face off.
Yeah. So
It's true.
basically anyone that's ever worked in a restaurant.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. So enough
Except for
about
me.
yeah, of course. Go hey, the tall redhead with tattoos. Oh yeah, she's straight edge.
No, but I did grow up in Stockton and like, the DARE program rode really hard in the 90s. So they scared that I was, yeah. I've always
Drugs
been
are
like,
really expensive.
no, it's terrifying.
I think the DARE program pushed more people towards drugs.
Well, not me.
I really think it did.
I wore that t-shirt with pride.
It, I knew people that wore that while doing drugs.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And it was like, see, they give you such false expectations of what would actually happen with drugs. Like people are going to try and offer you and give you drugs. That's not true.
Agreed.
Nobody wants to
People
give you any. They're
people that do
expensive.
drugs are not sharing their drugs.
No. It's worse than trying to bum a Camel Crush from somebody. You're you're trying you're just trying like, hey, can I get a no. This is $48. And
I
it's
didn't pay
like
my rent.
you can't have one. No. It's like, no. Did you pitch in? No. It's one of those things, and it is one of the, it's one of those things that you get as a guy, like just whenever you go to like a rave. Like I went to a lot of raves a few years back because it's just good vibes, good people, and stuff like that. You don't picture me as
Why
a raver?
that's so funny to me. Just see you like very Zoolander-esque, like yeah.
That was not me. Actually, there is a video of me it was from a distance. It was on a boat rave, and I hadn't slept in 3 days, and
Not
one of my
not
friends was
because you were
recording it.
on cocaine.
No, it was much other things, other things definitely cheaper things. And it was one of my friends. She's like recording it from across the way. She's just like looking. It was like the last night of this boat rave, and she's recording across like this whole global boat party. And then she zooms in, and she's like, "Is that Al?" I'm like on top. I'm like in the lifeguard tower with like light sticks, just fucking doing this shit. Like I don't remember that, but I have the video, and it's just really funny.
Just like full ADHD, like autism spasm with the light sticks.
Oh
Were
yeah,
you
that.
ever a glover?
No, see, I never. I started doing that stuff uh in my later years. I was like already like in my 30s, I think. And it was very mature raving. So it was just, you know, get in shape, go to a rave, take your shirt off. It's gonna be for my 33rd birthday. I went to a rave and I wrote on my chest, "I'm 33."
Uh-huh.
And a bunch of people were like, "You're 33. You're as old as my dad." Like that. And I'm just like, I'm the only one that they didn't card to like buy a Corona. Everybody else was just like, "I'm 21, sir." But
Yeah.
yeah, no. So in those things, it was like a lot of people doing. I had completely lost track of where that conversation was going, but it was just a lot of people doing drugs. But it was still very very fun. Raping is great, honestly. It is. It is. It gets a lot of hate because people think it's like people are gonna try and like take advantage of you and like everybody's drugged up and they're gonna rape you. And honestly, it's the furthest from the truth. It is the absolute furthest from the truth. It's like everybody there is so pumped up on serotonin. They're so friendly.
On
So friendly.
ecstasy.
Yeah, like they're just so happy. Like, have you ever gone to a concert or like an event? You lose your friend and then you have no friends, and you're just standing there by yourself, and you're like, "Oh, this is awkward." Like, get on your
No.
phone or you start texting or whatever. Well, maybe not if you're a good-looking tall redhead, but when you look like me, you're very fucking much by yourself, right? Imagine that happening, but you subtract the dudes trying to talk to you. Now what? You're a fucking
Then
loser, like the rest of us.
I am in heaven.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Subtract all the black dudes, subtract all the Mexican dudes, subtract all the short white guys that are just like, what are you doing here by yourself? Pretty lady, I don't know. I'm assuming it's a Western, country music festival or something like that. But that happens. Like that happens at you go to a big event, you don't have anybody. You're like, oh, this sucks. Like I'm by myself. That doesn't happen at raves. If like you get lost, and I've gotten lost before, somebody will just be, dude, are you alone? You're like, yeah, I can't find my friends. Hang out with us. And then you should have like a
It's like
brand new group of friends. Yeah,
it's just
it's
like a big like autism awareness. Like we're all special together.
exactly. It's
Yeah.
like one big like every character from like Sesame Street, but they like those personalities, but they are not wearing those costumes. They're
Uh-huh.
just regular people, and they're just either being really friendly, really high, or really drunk, or but very few times is anybody mean or anybody creepy. Very few times, because they always just look out for people. I mean, I think it's
That's
great.
great.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't been
I mean,
molested at any of those.
also great. Still no desire to go. But
I think I got IBS. I'm like real gassy. I don't need to shit myself. It's like at the top part, not at the bottom part.
yeah. Maybe you should get a new designer esophagus.
Oh, what the fuck? Is that like a fancy way of saying a fleshlight?
No, a new
Designer esophagus? Oh, that's
I had
oh.
I had esophagus surgery a few years ago, and my sister joked like, "Oh, you have a designer esophagus," because I had to pay for it.
Wait, what?
And then she essentially just called it sphincter surgery, which is what it is basically. But yeah,
You're Egyptian?
no.
What?
I
Okay,
do have
two,
things.
two,
Okay,
two,
you know what
two questions.
okay.
Number one, the fuck is an esophagus? It's not a fleshlight. Esophagus sounds like a Sesame Street character. And why did you buy a new one?
Uh,
Oh, you're making hearts with your hands. How the hell? No? How do you, did you do it?
it's a triangle.
You're a fucking Care Bear.
Okay,
Esophagus power.
I'm gonna answer those in reverse. So I got a new one because my old one was broken, and an esophagus. So
Jane?
you have like so your esophagus is what connects your throat to your stomach,
Okay.
and it's like you have different sphincters throughout your body that close off one section of your body
So
to
that's a
another.
sphincter. It's not just your ass.
Yeah.
It's the anus. You have multiple anuses around your body, basically. right?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Right, okay.
it's like all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares.
You have a square sphincter?
Oh, never mind.
What the
Uh,
fuck?
you know what I'm saying? Like your
I
anus
get it.
has.
I get
Okay,
it.
all right,
I'm
fuck
just
you.
being a dick. I'm just
Uh,
being a dick. I'm just being a dick. I'm just being a dick.
I never.
It's funny. I mean, I
It's
haven't had a conversation with somebody who has a new esophagus and a square sphincter, but go on.
it's hard for me sometimes with men to know if they're trying to be funny or if they're legitimately as retarded as they're coming off to be. I should give
Yes.
you a little more credit. So,
Yes, for both of those. It is
like,
very true.
how meta do I have to get? No, so anyway, I had like really bad reflux and I was taking, like the medicine for it and avoiding, everything good to eat and hit a point where like the drugs didn't work anymore and I just had like reflux all the time and felt really terrible. And I went to a doctor and they were like, you're kind of a prime candidate to have this surgery where we just essentially they're like your esophagus is a little too loose and like we're gonna make it tight
Go
again.
on.
So they go in and
It's like a very Beverly Hills thing. Go on.
they like go in and they twist a piece of your stomach like over that connection and it makes like um a new sphincter.
So so next question. What does it feel like to have a hymen again?
It's
Was
you
it
know
is that are you a virgin again? Is that what this is?
I think so.
That's so is it like a catheter? Like is it somebody else's esophagus? Or
No,
it's
no,
your own?
it's
They just
my own.
stretch it out. It's like a facelift where they just stretch it.
No, they literally explained it to me as like they go in and they pinch. He showed it on a shirt. So he's like, we go in and we pinch right by where your stomach and your esophagus are, and then we twist it over and like glue it in place. I don't know how they keep it there, but they just like they take
And
it and they go whoop,
they go in through your mouth, through your belly button,
your stomach,
your stomach.
like your abdomen. So they punched like 8 holes in my abdomen
Oh shit.
and then they fill you with gas. So they like inflate you so they can
Right.
go in and like
You look like a dairy cow.
yeah, retie your esophagus.
Just
And then I had
fucking take it.
and then I had to be on a liquid diet for 3 months. I couldn't have any solid food.
Oh,
Which was
your dad was probably, that's my girl. Just fucking liquid shitting on my toilet. Like, hey, sweetie, I think Megan might have ass cancer too.
let's hope not.
He's gonna go, the doctor's gonna go, you again. I just saw you for your sphincter.
But it's all nice and new, and now I don't have any reflux. And
So that was from acid reflux?
yeah,
Like with Jessica Simpson's sister, like Ashley Simpson, when she like messed up SNL. Do you remember that? She was caught like lip syncing or something, and she blamed it on acid reflux.
I don't remember that she blamed it on that, but I do remember that she wore this sweater.
Sexy silver outfit? No, you don't
No.
remember that?
I don't know if it was SNL related or not, but around that era, Ashley Simpson wore a sweater. It was Lamb brand, which was Gwen Stefani's clothing line. And it was like Rasta stripes with a white collar, and then it has like lamb embroidered on the back. And I was like, that's the coolest fucking sweater I've ever seen. And I worked in this shitty coffee shop, and I saved up all my money and bought this like $300 cashmere sweater that I still have, but that I've worn maybe 4 times since I was like 16.
And are we gonna see that sweater?
You want me to grab it?
Yes, fucking yes, please. Yes.
It sounds, I mean, it's
A
not that
Rasta
impressive.
lamb sweater for Ashley Simpson. In case you guys are wondering, Ashley Simpson is Jessica Simpson's little sister. who she tried to make famous. But we know that little sisters of famous celebrities don't always turn out so well.
Let's be nice to little sisters though, because okay.
No, I mean, I'm not hating on little sisters. I'm just hating on. Oh my God, that's disgusting. Are you serious?
Why is it disgusting? It's kind of dirty.
It looks like Freddy fucking Krueger. Like a cashmere Freddy Krueger.
Look at the tag.
I didn't know you played rugby. My
Like
God,
very...
looks like something Kanye West would wear in 1999.
Yeah, the 90s are back.
That's true, but that... I swear I've seen that like at a 49ers game. Like it's... So how old were you when you bought this?
Like 16.
My God.
I was really into Gwen Stefani.
And apparently Old English.
Because her and I have the same birthday, so I was like, oh my God, this is... I mean, she's older than me,
which is what?
No.
What is that?
I thought it was...
You don't know Gwen Stefani's birthday. You just said her and I have the same birthday, and you're like, I don't know Gwen Stefani's birthday.
Oh, no, I do know it.
When's Gwen Stefani's birthday? Just a month and a year.
October 3rd.
Okay. Happy early birthday, Gwen Stefani.
And me.
And you too, Megan. Of course.
Anyway.
I didn't want to say it because that sweater is pretty fucked up.
Why is it?
I mean, the Peanuts gang called. They want their sweater back.
Charlie Brown.
It is pretty Charlie Brown. It is.
It's like Charlie Brown teenage years when he like started smoking pot from his dad's sock drawer.
Like when yeah. You know. Like I'd only wear that sweater if segregation came back in style.
Well, let's pray that doesn't.
No, let's pray. I'd hate for us to drink from separate water fountains.
I feel like water fountains don't even exist anymore after COVID.
I mean, they do at the dog park. They do. They do.
Doggy fountains?
No, I mean they're there for people too, but I mean only dogs drink from. They have like this little bottom thing that's only for the dogs. But come to think of it, I have so I have two dogs. I have a black German Shepherd mix. You see her there lying down the side, and then I have Hogan, which is a golden Labrador. For whatever reason, I'm beginning to think my dog Hogan is racist because he does not drink from the water fountain ever. He doesn't get close to it. He like goes to it and he's like, "You're lesser than me." Yeah. I'm so gassy.
Do you have a water cup?
Probably.
No, but I mean, like, do you have like? I feel like everybody has like a cup that they drink water out of. Do you have like a favorite cup?
A favorite cup?
Or you're normal?
No. I have cups. No, I don't.
You don't have a favorite one.
Why? Do you want to tell me about your favorite cup? Is that where this is going?
I just think that everybody.
Let me tell you my cup. This is my menstrual cup.
I don't have one of those. I refuse. I've heard horror stories where like women are always like, "Oh yeah, the cup is great. Like you don't have to change it. You just put it up there and forget about it and blah blah blah." But then, eventually you have to take it out, but don't take it out anywhere. Like only take it out in the shower, but like be prepared for. And it's like, I don't know that I need to see that. Like, I don't know.
One of my friends, I'm not gonna say her name, but who I used to go to raves with. She was a fan of the cup.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I think the cup is great, to be honest. I mean, if I was a chick and I just had to put one thing up there, it's a little silicone, half of the other toys I have are silicone. What's the fucking difference? And what she did is she would when we would go to raves, she would hide drugs in there. So she would hide drugs in the cup, boop, 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 put it up her hoo-ha. We'd walk in, they'd check her, drug sniffing dogs would be like, that's a pussy, and just walk away. And what would happen is towards the when the sun would go down, or we're like, okay, cool, like let's party, she'd just like walk over to the side somewhere, and she'd just like, cover me. Okay, I'm good. You're like, here's this ecstasy pill. I'm sorry if it smells like metal. You're like, what?
I had a friend, we were like middle school friends, that stayed in touch for a while, and when she would go to house parties, she would put a tampon in even if she wasn't on her period, because she was convinced that then she couldn't get raped, because men, like, she would like go do drugs and know that she was going to get blacked out, and she's like, oh, if I put a tampon in before I get blacked out, then if I black out or pass out and a dude like tries to fuck me, he'll see the tampon and then he won't fuck me. That was like the
Her
logic.
deterrent. That was her
Yeah.
deterrent. It wasn't
Yeah.
just not getting blackout drunk.
No,
It was just no. It was like, I have to get blackout drunk, but because I am.
But safety first.
Safety first. Yeah. That's terrible. As a guy, so see, that was something that was probably more. It was a lot more common, I think, when I was younger, where you'd go out on a first date or something, or go out on a date, and a girl would say she's on her period, or she'd be like, oh, I'm on my. She'd kind of do that as like a test, like to test you if you really wanted to go out.
Yeah.
And naturally, I'm smarter than your average bear, so I was like, yeah, of course. You're my I love the way my cousin says it. She's like, you're paying rent right now. That's cool. It's like you pay rent for a week out of the month, and it's like yeah. So she's like, yeah, on flow, and I'm like, yeah, no problem. Let's go out. We'd go out. She'd get all frisky, blah blah blah, and then it'd be like, we can't do anything because I'm on my period. I'd be like, okay, no problem. And then you kind of still like what I've learned is you can't just be direct with women. You just kind of beat around the bush. And the more you beat around the bush, the more she's going to think, like, I haven't told you no yet. You're not directly attacking me, so I have nothing to tell you no about. This is making me mad. Now I have to attack you. And she does. And I'll be like, I thought you were on your period. Well, it's like the last day. And it's like, you fucking lying bitch. This was a test. It's like, this was a test. And she'll go, hold on. She'll go to the bathroom. She'll throw it out. And then I'd go out, go pee later. And I'm like, I don't fucking see anything. You're a liar. You're a liar. It was a thing. It's a test. I mean, that's what they do.
100% a thing.
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, it's probably better than, granted, I wouldn't take home a blackout drunk woman. It's just not like a thing that I would want to do. But your friend is gutsy. Just making that life decision, like, it's not like going to the grocery store and like, getting a pizza and then seeing a salad and like leaving the pizza in like the salad aisle and like, like a decision was made at that moment. It's like, I'm taking the fucking pizza, but just in case, I'm going to take the fucking salad too.
Well, the funny thing is, like, this is like when we were kids, like when we were in middle school and high school. And then we sort of like fell out in our 20s. And then when I moved to San Diego, we had sort of like reconnected during the pandemic online. And so we were like trying to rekindle like our childhood friendship. And I was visiting San Diego, kind of thinking about moving there. And she was like, oh, we should go out. And so she took me to this bar in PB that we were way too old to be at as women in our 30s. And I swear to God, like, we were standing in line and I was looking around like, are these people old enough to drink? Like, this is so embarrassing. It was so
Like me at a
embarrassing.
rave. Yeah. You're like
Yes.
me at a
And then,
Can I get a white Russian, please?
yeah. So we had sort of like reconnected over this, like, oh, we're like healing and we're in our like, we're bettering ourselves and blah, blah, blah. And then she's like,
Eat,
let's
pray,
go to
love.
this, like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's go to this like 20-year-old fuckboy bar in PB and like drink shots out of plastic cups. She got blacked the fuck out,
That
just
wasn't a
like
red
she
flag
is.
to you? Like that
No,
wasn't like a
it was.
I'm
But like,
healing. Let's go to this fuckboy bar and get blackout
well,
fucking drunk.
she didn't sell it like that. She was like, oh, let's go to this cool bar. Like, I want to show you how cool San Diego is so that you move here. And I was like, okay, cool. I didn't fucking know. And so we went, and then very soon I was like babysitting a grown woman, just like when we were kids. I'm like now babysitting my friend. And it's like last call, they turn all the lights on. We're trying to get in, like, we walked there from her place, and I didn't know, like, I didn't know how to get back. And she starts like talking to these dudes, and they're like, let's go to Tijuana. And she's like, yeah, Tijuana. I was like, bitch, we are not going to Tijuana.
No. Julia Roberts did nothing like this.
And they were like, well, we can give you a ride back, blah, blah, blah. And so she climbs into a car with these like random dudes. And I was like, fuck. So I get in the car and they're like, what's her address? And I was like, I'm not giving you her address. Like, I'm just going to tell you where to go. And I have them like drop us off down the street because I don't know who these people are. And
you jumped in the back of the pickup truck with the mismatched color panels.
And one of the dudes like gets out with her, and I was like, you're not. I was staying the night at her house, and I was like, you are not staying. And she's like, no, this is my friend. Blah 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 blah.
Oh
And I
my
was like,
God.
at a certain point, I was like, you know what? You're a grown ass bitch. Like, you're gonna do what you want to do.
She's not on her period.
Well, so I'm sleeping on her couch, and I'm like, trying to sleep, and she is having rabid sex with whoever the fuck this person is. And it's like 4 a.m, and then it's 5 a.m, and I haven't slept, and I'm just like, this is really terrible. And he leaves at some point, like, does the crawl, and I'm just awake on the couch, like, thanks for keeping me up all night.
The crawl? Just like I gotta keep it down.
Yeah.
So she was probably still asleep. You can't let her know.
So then he leaves or whatever, and then eventually she wakes up and she's like, oh my God, like, did I have sex last night? I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you did. And she's like, that's so weird because I was on my period and there's blood like all over my sheets.
Oh.
And I was like, this is a very full circle moment from like 9th grade.
Yeah.
We don't talk.
You're
anymore,
like that is how you get closure, right? It's the circle of life. Spent a whole time lying about it, saying she was on her period so she wouldn't get fucked when she got blackout drunk. She got blackout drunk, got fucked while she was actually on her period.
Yep. Ruined her good sheets.
Oh my God. That's I've heard like a lot of people kind of mentioning the whole healing journey. I mean, because like I've definitely had one, or I definitely have had a few different kind of moments in your life where you have these moments of enlightenment where you kind of do that. Most of the time, though, those are done by yourself. At least like from my experience, like you do that healing stuff, you do that, get into your emotions, get into your brain kind of thing. You don't fucking think, you know what? Let's go to fucking TJ. Let's go to TJ, pop us some beer. I'm going to forget about everything in the past. You don't do that. You do that when you're 18 and you're trying to get rid over your ex-girlfriend who's now dating your best friend, but you guys are still best friends, that didn't happen. Actually, that did happen to me. Holy shit! Oh my god! It did, and he did have sex with her, and she did ruin his sheets in his dorm room. And this was, oh my god! And this was when we were like 18 or something. It was back in college. Holy shit, that is true. That is very true. That's actually a true story. But you don't do that. You don't do that when you're healing. When you're healing, you spent like I just recently had a healing moment not that long ago, and I
Just
spent
a moment.
just a moment.
Not a journey.
By moment, I meant a month. I meant a month. And it was a solid month of me just by myself, completely by myself, just completely alone. And read a lot more books and spent a lot of time at the dog park, got a new dog. But then on the last, this is my favorite part because it's probably the happened the most. So on the last part, I had spent an entire week that I took off work that I was like feeling the peak of it, where I was like, you know what, this is like a lot. Like I need to kind of just dump all this, right? And like one of the things that I like to do as a coping mechanism, right, as opposed to smoking Camel Crushes or sleeping with random dudes at bars, I like to watch Disney movies. So Disney movies is like, it's true, they're amazing.
That's so wholesome.
It is.
Very
I swear to
wholesome.
God, if you tell anybody, I will fucking kill you. But
please, just to get the image of you watching The Little Mermaid in your footy pajamas out of my brain.
Yes. I do have onesies, by the way. But that's not the image you should honestly picture. Just picture me going to see Disney movies by myself Sunday morning, because it's like morning matinee prices, and it's just a bunch of kids and their parents, and I'm just like chilling there with like shades and a jacket, just like, oh my god, that's so. Hey, look at that! What happened to Woody?
So creepy.
Yeah, very creepy. Well, I spent a whole week watching Disney movies, and then watching Marvel movies, which are like, I'm a big superhero nerd. It's like one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
And I watched like so many hours of movies, but on the last day, like I'm just watching a bunch of movies, and I'm just thinking to myself, you know what? I'm going to enjoy eating a lot of mushrooms, and just enjoy a lot of DMT, which DMT is just like a really, really heavy psychedelic, but it was like the craziest emotional cleanse and like reset of my brain that I could think of, which was, I had already done a lot of the work, but this was kind of just like you kind of like you uninstall a bunch of programs from your computer, and at the end it says reset, and it's just like doing that. It's just pressing the reset button after you uninstalled everything, and like you can not reset it, it'll be fine, but you won't get all the little bugs out, kind of thing. Like it'll still kind of have little things there that eventually you will need to reset later on, as opposed to just resetting at that moment. And I reset at that moment, spent a whole day crying like an idiot, calling Adriana, crying like an idiot, calling other friends, crying like an idiot, by myself, crying like an idiot. At no time did I think to myself, I want to have sex with a girl on her period. No time. It was, I want to spend time by my damn self.
Yeah.
You know? That's what we need. Yeah.
I spend a lot of time by myself, and I enjoy it. It's like the first time in my life where I spend a lot of time alone, and I like myself enough that I don't feel lonely.
Okay. That's good.
And it's I don't know.
Who is it? Nancy told me. Nancy is like, oh, you know, one of the problems. She's like, I've been alone for a while. She goes, and it's hard to get back into the dating world, because she goes, because I like it now. Like I like being alone. And I was like, I get that. I get that, you fucking loser. But didn't really tell her that. But you know, like I was like, okay, I understand that, and I do. There was there's a really good book that I read. It's called 4,000 Weeks by Oliver Berkman. And in the book, he says, and he takes this quote from somebody else, but he uses it in his book. He says, man is always in haste because we are in flight from ourselves. And that is like one thing that has always stuck with me. It's
Yeah.
just like when I spent that whole month, and even still now, I'm still spending majority of my time alone. It's a lot of not like just learning to enjoy my own company again,
Yeah.
because it's like you have that never ending like that whole like people pleasing thing, or like just wanting to like I need validation from somebody else kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, what do you think? Did you come? Yeah, yeah. Did you? Yeah, like 4 times. Yeah. Okay. You want to go again? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know you've gotten that. I know. Every woman has seen that face before. Every woman has seen that face. You know. Did you finish? Yeah.
Well, and this is
Me
why
too.
so yeah, we fucking know. No, this is like, and I think this is why so many women I know right now are enjoying their time alone. It's like there's a lot of really incredible women in my life that have also learned to enjoy their own company, and it's that, like, there's no lack, so there's no pressure to date, there's no pressure to like get out there and find a partner. It's like, what do I want to do? Like, do I enjoy my home? Do I enjoy myself? Do I have hobbies? Like, my friendships are the best they've ever been in my entire life right now. And particularly my friendships with other women that, through the rest of my life, I've been, primed to compete with for
That's
scarce
true.
resources.
Scarce resources. Dick. There's plenty of dick in the world.
It's literally free. Like,
And yeah, that was something I did hear a lot growing up, was women having trouble with like, they're like, I don't have a lot of women friends. It's like, maybe you're a bitch. Maybe they're intimidated by you, or a combination of both. But it was always the same thing. It was always just like, I don't have a lot of women friends. I fight with them a lot. Like, why? And it's because women do that thing. Women do that fake nice thing, and that's one thing that guys can't stand. And I think it's hilarious because like you see it all the time. It's like, oh, hi, how are you, Helen? Everything's great. You're so sweet. I love your dress. I love that lamb jacket. It's so amazing. It's it's so fucking amazing, that lamb jacket. It reminds me of that one picture with the gold and white dress, or the blue and the black dress. I think I might be colorblind, but have a nice day. And the whole time, like, their spouse is just looking at them saying, I thought you hate that bitch. I fucking do. I do hate that bitch. It's like, then why the fuck are you nice to her? I'm just fucking, she fucking knows I don't like her. It's like,
yeah.
no, just saying, you swear to look stupid. You look like a fucking member of the Peanuts gang. Get the fuck out of my face. Your lives would be so much easier.
It's
Yeah.
a nice sweater. No, but yeah, I think that, like, women are just, we're told, like, there's not enough for you, like, the men get this much and the rest of you get this much, and you have to split it up evenly. And then we're all just like clawing over the same shit instead of fighting you, like, we just fight each other under the guise of, like, we're bonded as girlfriends and we're lifelong friends and blah, blah, blah. But,
Sisterhood of the traveling pants.
yeah, which is bullshit. But then, you meet single women in their 30s and they're like, it's like you've never met a woman before. It's like they're just the most incredible beings on the planet. And I feel super, super blessed in my life right now to have, like, a scattering of them around me.
It's like a bunch of stray cats, huh? Just like walking around, and you're just like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
What's up with you? Nothing. Cool.
And
That's
then,
it.
and they're
Then
just
that's
like
it.
perfect, and they're perfectly
Yeah.
content.
Yeah.
They need nothing, and so they have everything, like complete dominion over. It's great. So with my birthday coming up, I work with students for a living, And recently there was a new batch of students around, and they said, something, something, you look 35. They were talking to each other. And I sort of turned and I went, I'm 35. And they did that whole like, oh my God, you're 35? You look 23, which is bullshit. Like, I do not look 23, nor do I want to. But that, like, have you seen a 23-year-old these days?
Do you know how much acne they had? Do you know what my
It's
back looked like in a fucking two-piece?
It's fucked up. Um, have you seen a 23-year-old?
Yeah,
Like,
I don't understand the current fascination with mom jeans. It is fucking disgusting. I will say that forever. And if you wear mom jeans, you are fucking disgusting too. And if you wear mom jeans with that fucking lamb sweater, I am fucking not uploading this piece of shit. And I'm just telling you.
I feel like it's not even mom jeans anymore. It's like Janko jeans, you know? It's like the
Oh
really
shit!
big.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The virtual insanity jeans, right?
Yeah.
Virtual
Everything.
insanity.
Like Trapper Keepers are going to come back and everything's going to
Yes.
get even uglier.
My God. Weed is going to be illegal again. It's going to be fucking crazy.
You're going to have to buy it at the park with cash from a stranger that's like, let me smoke you out first. And then you're just like sitting in some weird dude's garage. Like,
It's somebody
I really,
knocking. Mom, I'm busy. That's nobody. That's my roommate.
yeah, yeah.
Your mother? That is true. That is true. Yeah, no, I get it. I mean, so you're 35, right? 30,
I will be in
36.
October.
You'll
Yeah.
be in October, yeah. You're 34, right? Yeah, you see it. I mean, how old were the kids that said you were 23?
They're probably like 19, 20.
Right. At 19 or 20, everybody looks fucking 50.
It's true.
Everybody looks 50. I remember seeing guys in their late 20s and being like, he's going out with a 20-year-old? What a fucking pedo.
Yeah.
Oh my God. What a sick, that's like fucking your dad. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Ew.
he has a receding hairline, that kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I mean, at that age, you do look, I mean, yeah, the 20s were bad. The 20s were bad for everybody. I
20s
think
are
so.
bad.
It was really bad.
Yeah. I think my point is every year, so far, every year of my 30s, as I get older, I feel
Better.
I feel more like myself, like more aligned with like my numerical age and just my overall.
Numerical age, not my spiritual age.
Yes.
In Jazzercise years, I'm fucking 29.
Forever. It was one of the instructors' birthdays today. She turned 59, and she didn't tell any of us, of course. We all knew.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, girl, 29 again. Woo-woo.
10% discount at Caro's.
Yeah. But I also don't understand the fascination. The more comfortable I get with myself, the older I get, the less I understand the fascination with wanting to uphold the youth of your 20s. And so there are like some women that I'm having conversations with now that we're in like a similar headspace where like we feel great and empowered and there's no like scarcity, we're not wanting for anything. We don't want to be younger. We don't want to be anything besides what we are right now. And then there are women that are like, well, I'm not 29 anymore. And
gonna go buy some Jinko jeans.
But that you can see that they still have this like really strong desire for their youth and to be young again, and they like they've lost something. And when you're not like that, it's really sad to have conversations with women that are like that, because you just want to I just want to shake them.
Just fucking infant death syndrome, just like you see that with everybody. Like, I don't want to say everybody, but I mean, I always tell people my 20s sucked because I was filled with insecurity. In my 30s, every single year that passes, you just feel more and more comfortable in your own skin. And then you understand why people like in their 50s and 60s just walk around naked,
Yeah.
you know? And you just get to that point where, like, I used to get a haircut twice a week, or sometimes twice a week. I used to
That's
get at least
insane.
weekly and then twice a week. And then I'm learning to cut my own hair, and trust me, it is not very good. 19-year-old me would have been like, what in the fuck are you doing? Pay your neighbor $2 and have him hook you up. But it's
Yeah.
like that, just the thought of doing that. I mean, shit, even right now, the thought of ironing clothes is like, so don't tell my sister, but for the night of her wedding,
Uh-huh.
I legit went to Ross the night before to buy my outfit. Like to fucking
I be-
Ross the night before, because I had completely forgot, and I was like, holy shit, I need to go buy this right now. I
The
got like
blazer too?
fucking Amazon Prime same day ship that shit. I fucking swear to God, I was like,
I believe you.
the person that I was seeing at the time was like, you have your outfit for the wedding, and I was like, yeah. What is it? I'm just gonna fucking wear something that I have. She said it just has to be red. I was like, oh shit. Immediately just turned into like, oh fuck. Because I had gone out to like look at like a suit or something, and it just turned into like, okay, cool. You want to rent this really cool looking suit? It's $400. I was like, no, that's terrible.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna do that.
I hope you insert a picture of you from the wedding.
It's actually like the thumbnail. So it's the thumbnail, yeah,
Oh
with
yeah,
the
it really
mustache.
is.
Yeah, with the mustache, just making the face like, what? Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a super funny picture. It was really funny. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, it's all nonsense at that point. Because I mean, prior to that, you do all the whole like eat, pray, love thing. I mean, women like at least like in my experience, like when you're younger, when you're younger, every single guy doesn't want to stay with a woman too long because he feels he's just gonna miss out on all sorts of square finsters and pussy and fucking everything out that way. That's just like what you think. You get a little bit
Yeah.
older and you try holding on more. When you get a little bit older, you are afraid to let go. And women are the exact opposite. They're like, I've only seen 2 dicks in my life. I need to see 20 dicks in my life. And I am woman, hear me roar. I have money. I can buy makeup. I can buy cocaine. Let's go. And then you turn into that whole phase, and it just never ends. You know, when you get a little bit older and you kind of just stabilize a little bit, you learn to actually like yourself instead of hating yourself and thinking you're just a piece of shit or you're just not good for somebody or for everybody. And then you just get old and die, shrivel up. Your tits turn to pancakes. My balls just fucking sag down to the floor, and it's game over.
Yeah, they're in the shit water in the toilet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
My cats will eat my face, and
Yeah, just get you while you sleep.
that'll be it. But
Well, Megan, I think we did great. I think it was about an hour and a half, which was awesome.
damn.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Here real quick. Thank you so much, everybody. Say bye. I'm going to add Megan's information below just in case you want to creep. If not, don't worry about it. I mean, who knows? We might have her back on again.